Hey everybody, how are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Hope your Wednesday's going well for you. It's rainy and drizzly here, but kind of warm in the 50s, so everyone's excited because it looks like spring might be close by. Y'all know me, I'd rather have the snow, but we'll take it for now. Anyway, how are you doing? So, did you see the ingredients Sunday? Wanted to make sure you guys all saw that. Hopefully a couple of you went shopping and got the stuff to cook with me. You can do this one of two ways. You can cook with me as I go along, or you can watch it and then go back and make it afterwards. This is a very simple recipe, so it shouldn't be hard to do. We are going to do it start to finish, so it should be about 20 minutes, give or take a couple extra there. Try to keep it simple. So I did some of the prep work ahead of time, so I'm going to set you down here and see if how much of this you can see. So there's the stove. I have our single burner grill pan already heating up. I've got a roll of simple pork sausage, just a simple pound, and we're going to put that right on here. So you should have a good, about a 5-minute head start to the pan heating up for you. Of course, we will be using the mix and chop on this. So this is not something I would normally do, all the time in a grill pan because of the grill ridges, but there's really no reason not to do it either. So I'm going to kind of push this down into a flat pattern, not pattern, but flatten it out just a little bit so it can go ahead and start cooking. So again, not necessarily something you would do all the time in a grill pan, but there's really no reason why not to get it started and do this once in a while because it makes a really easy slider. So I'm sorry you can't see my face the whole time. I'm working on camera angles, but I'm going to have you see what I'm doing more importantly than that. So the other thing I'm going to do at the same time, which is why I love this pan, is I'm also going to go ahead and put in bell peppers and onions in a few minutes. We're going to let that get going. Once it starts to brown, we'll add those in. So here's the manual food processor. Not sure how many people are familiar with this, however, absolutely love it. So as you can see, there's a blade inside here. It actually just sits very gently on this little peg. You just cut your onions up into little chunks. You're not spending all your time cutting it. Basically cut it in half, and then that half into thirds. This sits right on top. This little peg sits right in the middle. See if I can change the angle a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. All right, and this handle just unlocks and comes up and just spins like that. Okay, so what you're going to do is just go to town. It's a little noisy. And it's actually chopping this up. What's nice is you can see what you're doing, and you can see how small you get it. If you don't like touching onions, all you do is cut it, put it in there, you're done, and you go from there. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Jody. Hello, Mary. How are you guys doing? So again, you just get this going as small as you want. I don't mind chunks of onion when they're cooked. I don't care for them when they're raw. Okay, so I'm going to just take a peek. So as you can see, there's still some pretty decent chunks. So I'm going to go just a little smaller than that. My lid's sticking a little bit. Okay, so there you go. So what's nice too is this comes off. You can just brush off the onions. Again, if you don't want to touch them, get a little spatula. Here's one of my favorite parts. I just pulled that blade out of there, so I don't have to worry about cutting myself when I'm trying to take stuff out. I don't have to worry about cutting up a spatula while I take things out. Absolutely love that. Jennifer, hello. Kathy, hello. I'm making you hungry. Good. You're supposed to be cooking with me. Get your ingredients. Come on. I'm doing great, Mary. Thank you for asking. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but today has been fun. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do on this meat is I'm going to go ahead and flip it once. One of the things that people tend to say, if they say they don't like the mix and chop because everything sticks to it too much, I usually tell them, let your meat cook. You can actually almost have it completely finished before you take the mix and chop to it. If you don't know what a mix and chop is, shame on you. Just kidding. So this is our mix and chop. Okay, you see that tapered blade, how it's curved? And then if you can kind of catch the slight angle, see if I can get up there, see how that's tapered on the ends as well? So what this does is, if you were to use my hand, it pushes and tears. So it's pulling the meat apart when you use it in the skillet. So I'll bring this over. and show you guys what I'm talking about. Hello. Hello, hello. Whirlwind. Spin around. Okay, let's see if I can get this to flip. Alright, so here's our pan. It's already cooking. You just push and turn. I'm not hitting it hard, as you can see. You can actually almost do this so it's almost even silent. You can barely hear it at all. And all I'm doing is breaking this up. So again, with a grill pan, you're not necessarily doing broken up sausage like this, but I'll show you the trick and why this is so much fun in a minute. Sorry. I'm watching my hands and not the camera. Alright, so now, see how it's sticking on that, but it's not nearly sticking on this. It actually comes off really easy. So I just tamp that out and it's almost completely gone. If you're finding, let me turn you back around. If you're finding that yours does that a lot, let your meat cook a little bit and quit worrying about starting to mix it right away. You don't have to do that for any reason at all. I am turning the oven up to 400. We're going to finish this off in this, put it on the rolls, and then put it in the oven to completely finish and bake. Super, super crazy easy. Alright, so let me see who else is on. Alright, so it looks like we're hanging with this right now. So because that meat's already starting to brown and we've already started mixing it up, I'm going to go ahead and add in the onions and the bell peppers. So let me go back to the skillet again. I'm just going to dump the onions in there. It's a small onion, which is good, so it's almost completely, it's not going to be an overdose of onions. And then I have some yellow bell peppers as well. Just get that spread around nice and evenly, and we'll let that cook. The other thing that I'm using is our Pampered Chef crushed peppercorn and garlic. Ta-da! Focus. There we go. This is one of those seasonings that you can pretty much use anywhere. In anything. I use it in my spaghettis. I use it in, oh my gosh, I use it everywhere. So yeah, in anything. I'm actually going to take the lid off because it's almost gone. So we're just going to finish it off. So you just do your crushed peppercorn and garlic. Of course, fresh garlic is wonderful too. So I'm not about to say, do that instead of fresh garlic. Never would that ever cross my mouth. However, sometimes you just run out of garlic or don't have it, and you just aren't sure what you want to do. So, while that's cooking and starting, this is our silicone prep bowl. They come in a set of 3. They have lids and have measurements down the side. We're going to melt, we got butter and some garlic powder in there. So again, fresh garlic is wonderful. I'm just going to do 30 seconds. Not that you need to see my microwave, but hey. So these are microwave safe, they're oven safe. You can put them in the freezer, you can put them in the fridge. Really easy to use and very simple for melting chocolate as well. I love it for that because if you saw how squishy it was, and I'll show you that again in case you couldn't quite tell, it is a lot of fun for melting chocolate because then you just pour the chocolate out instead of trying to put it into a different vessel to make it pourable. So this is nice and easy for that. We just want to melt this butter down and stir the garlic in, and we're going to brush this across the rolls once we get the little sliders built. So see, we're done. Lots of steam. See, so squishy. So I could even sit there and pour that across when I'm done. This is our silicone basting brush. Y'all, if you don't have one of these, you need to. It is so easy to use. And look, it's got a little loop on the handle so it can rest on the edge of my bowl and not fall in. Obviously not this bowl, but if I had a bigger bowl, I could do that. All right, I'm going to pick you up. We're going to check and see how we're doing. So don't be afraid to use your mix and chop right on your vegetables as well. They're not all going to break up. You don't want them all to, so that's fine. And you can still see your meat enough to watch for pink spots, like there's a couple there, and get that turned in. I'm not adding any type of sauce or anything to it, so I can still see my meat and make sure that it's going to cook all the way through. Now this is one of those pieces that's going away. I will be honest and tell you the new stuff starts tomorrow, and they are bringing out a new equivalent to this, so don't panic. The double burner grill pan will have a new equivalent this fall as well, so we're good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and come back around and show you some cheese. No more sunglasses, Laura. Not yet. We'll play with that. I accidentally got started with this filter that put a face on everything and sunglasses and like a weird mustache type thing. This is our coarse grater. There's two. There's one like this and one that's got the really, really fine holes. It's for the harder cheese. This is for your softer cheeses. And this is 4 ounces of Monterey Jack. Absolutely love Monterey Jack. I will tell you to be careful of the holes. It's very sharp. It will get your knuckles. And we do have a carriage that you can use. I'm a daredevil, so don't listen to me. Just kidding. But so if you get really nervous about it or you don't want to get super, super, super close, you can use that carriage as well. I've kind of learned a couple of tricks with this. Just if you do cut yourself, just know I told you and warned you, right? All right. The other fun part is you get to that one last little stub and you don't quite need it. What do you get to do? You eat it. That's the best part of cooking. Yeah, you have to make sure that cheese tastes good, right? So we have that all cut up, so that'll go with that. Now, the other thing, Hawaiian rolls. They're great to use for items like this, like sliders. Lots of fun. I do recommend opening it up way before you need it. You know, not way like an hour, but like before you're ready for them. And peel off the back to make sure it's not stuck. Sometimes they stick really bad. Also, some brands put that piece of paper. We don't want to eat paper, right? Don't want to do that. You can set it back on there. Once you know it's not stuck, put the paper aside, and then you take your knife and cut it through. So one of our long bread knives is your best bet. Let me get my mixing pieces out of the way here so we don't knock things over. And you just want to sit there and take your time and go right through. If it makes you nervous to do the whole package at one time, then break it down in half and do like half at a time and then the other half, and then you can always stick them back next to each other after you get your halves done. Not a problem with that at all. It's just a matter of how you want to do it. Alright, so those are nice and cut in half. I've got some bacon. So remember I mentioned 4 to 6 slices of bacon. That's actually about 4. It cuts down and shrinks up just a bit. Hey Tina, how are you? So what I do is, all my bacon I do is pound at a time on our bar pan and bake it in my oven. If you've never baked bacon, you're missing out, and I'll tell you why. Pound at a time, there's no mess and splatter all over your kitchen, and you can save some of it for another recipe so you have it all cooked, if you can keep people away from nibbling on it, of course. And this is our bar pan. So as you use them, they get darker and darker from use, and you don't have to flip your bacon, you don't have to, you know, watch it like super, super close. You just watch the timing based on how thick your bacon is sliced. This comes right off of here. It doesn't stick. I just love, love, love bacon on stoneware. And this can be used for so many other things. So how many of you have this, and what do you use it for? My husband used to work 3rd shift, and we used to do all his leftovers on that. We used to warm everything up on there for him. And he absolutely, you know, nachos, you can, oh, by the way, yeah, nachos. If you go out to eat and get one of those big plates of nachos, and don't finish it up, bring it home, throw it on that, you can warm it up on there. Alright, so I'm switching to our tongs because this is mostly cooked now and I just want to continue to move things through. So I'm going to bring you back over. I'm actually going to set you up over here. See if we can get to where you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I have bacon on here now, the bell peppers and the onions. That's the mix and chop handle right in your face there. So I'm just going to keep moving this around. Just check for pink spots to make sure all the meat's cooked. I also want to make sure my onions are nice and see-through, or translucent as they say, because then your onions are cooked. And what's the nice part about this grill pan is you're guys getting a nice little bit of a fond here on the bottom, and that will be really yummy when we put the rolls down in here as well. So what I'm going to do is cook this just a couple more minutes. My oven is already heating, and then I will take the meat out for a minute, put just a little bit of butter in the bottom of the pan just to be yummy for the rolls. Put the rolls in there, the meat on top, the cheese, the tops of the rolls on, and then we're just going to brush on that butter and garlic and then throw it in the oven, and we're all set. My tongs just jumped off the counter. You guys saw it. Alright, I'm going to wash them. I'll be right back. That's why you wash your dishes as you go along and have a hot soapy water ready for anything. Oh, that was funny. So that decided to just pop open like that. We'll see if that can stay and not do that to us again. So what are you guys fixing for dinner tonight if you're not doing this? Laura says, love my bar pan, already one of my most favorite things in my kitchen. Oh yeah, absolutely, one of my favorite things. Yes, I actually have 2 of them. And then the smaller, oh, brain dump. We have a toaster oven size. I don't have that because I don't have a toaster oven, but I do have like the next size down from the large, the medium one as well. All right, so that meat is done. My onions, not quite. We'll just give them another second. Bridget, girl, how are you? I haven't seen you in ages. How's the monkey? Not literally monkey. She's got a bar and grill place called the, oh, don't shoot me, Funny Monkey. Anyway, it's a blast. It's a fun place to go. Food's great. Sorry, Bridget. Anyway, shout out. She's got a great place to go to. You can post on there, full name and where it's at. Move. Sorry, clink, clink, glass bowls. Okay, so this is done. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off into here. I use my tongs for everything, so not a worry. Turn off your burner. So you just kind of go around with the grooves and bring it down, and then scrape it into here. If you don't have one of these pans, you can use a regular skillet, but this makes it really easy. Another fun thing to do with this is to put some nice grill marks on your chicken or a couple of brats and some vegetables, and then throw them in the oven to finish. So that's a lot of fun. Okay, so meat set aside. I'm going to put a little bit, I'm just going to very gently brush some of that garlic butter on the bottom of this. And you're all probably going, oh my gosh, that brush is going to melt. No, it's a silicone basting brush, so that's not an issue, not a problem. All right, I'm going to take the bottom half of my rolls. I'm going to put those right in there. You have to scoosh one of the ends in just a smidge. Not a big deal at all. I'm going to put some of the cheese right down on top of here. This is another thing where if you really want to get into some fancy, you can make like a nice aioli, which is basically like a mayonnaise type sauce to go on here if you want to. Don't have to, but you could. I'll put this right back on here now. Look at that. These are going to be so yummy. You can do scrambled eggs with this and make it a breakfast slider. You can do more of a Philly cheesesteak style with some steak and green bell peppers and mozzarella cheese. You can do a little marinara with that if you wanted to. Some people like their Phillies with marinara, some don't. I'm more of a just meat and cheese and onion and mushroom type. I did mention mushrooms and I left them. I forgot to grab them at the store. You would just add those in at the same time that you do like the bell peppers and onions. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of the cheese. That's mostly just to kind of help your buns stick together. Your sandwich buns. That'd be rude. I have boys. Glory, can you tell? That's straight where it went. All right, so there's the cheese. And now I'm going to just slide my roll tops right on, which is nice when you have the cardboard. You keep the cardboard for that. All right, and now we're going to just do the last portion. All right. Bar pan uses for her. For Laura, grilled cheese, Sammy's, salmon, brownies, cookies, roasted veggies, chicken, bacon, giant pancakes with chocolate chips. Ooh, blueberries, yum. Nina, hello girl, how are you? All right, so now I'm just gonna brush this butter and garlic on here. Cut one of the, all right. And that's gonna get all nice and toasty and warm and yummy. It is amazing, y'all. All right, so I want this segment every Wednesday to be something that helps you. It helps me because I feed my family after this. and I don't have to come up with something else to make for dinner. But what do you guys want? What do you want to see? What kind of recipes do you want? I need you to comment and let me know. And then the other thing I need you to do is to invite your friends. Get some people on here. Let's get some conversations going. Let's have a party. All right, so I'm going to put this right into the oven, y'all. Doesn't that look yummy? Look at that. Yum. All right. Now, big thing to remember, when you pull that back out, that handle is going to be hot because it's in the oven. Grab hot pads. All right, give me just a second, and I'm going to turn you back around to me. So yes, think about recipes, what you want to see, things you want to learn how to make, etc. All right, so I'm going to turn you around. All right, so let's see who else is on here. Sharonda, hey girl, how are you? What kind of weather are you guys getting down there? It's one of my cousins down in St. Louis. So if I missed anybody, I'll make sure I'm not missing anybody. Okay, so that's going to cook. I usually watch it about 5-10 minutes. It's just wait for it to get crunchy. It doesn't have to heat through as much because we just put hot meat on there, taking care of it and doing that. So that part's good. And if you guys don't mind walking with me, we're just going to go walk in here and sit down for a second and talk. How's that? All right, so what did we do tonight? We took the single burner grill pan and we cooked sausage in that, and we added our crushed peppercorn and garlic seasoning to it, and bell peppers, and I used yellow bell pepper, as you can see, and some onion. If you don't like either of those, you don't have to. Again, this is really easy and flexible. The biggest thing is you're going to have some cheese, your meat mixture of whatever you put together, and more cheese, and then the top of the rolls, obviously between the rolls, and bake it for a little bit to get them to kind of get all ooey gooey, melty, cheesy. So that's the fun part. We have Monterey Jack cheese. Again, you can change this up. You can do a total bacon cheeseburger and we have bacon, obviously. We use sausage. You could do regular ground beef or turkey. You could add bacon. You could actually put pickles on there if you wanted to. It just depends on what you want to do. So to have a little bit of imagination with it, play with it and see. You know, there's always a way to try it. If you don't like it, you can change it for next time. That single burner grill pan is part of our executive cookware line. And unfortunately, like I said, it's going away tonight. However, if tonight's not going to work for you,